Got that good soul in my feet. Oh, Got that good soul in my feet. Oh, Can't stop the feeling, whoa. Can't stop the feeling, no. Can't stop the feeling, whoa. Can't stop the feeling. Can't stop the feeling.
I want to welcome all of you to this lovely ceremony. It's a special honor to be asked to introduce the baccalaureate ceremony today for the class of 2016. Ending college is probably as hard as beginning it. It's also hard to end a job, a friendship, a relationship, even to end writing a big book, such as I published last year, and you can buy in the University of Chicago bookstore, by the way. I had to put in a plug. You can view today as the beginning of the end, or as the end of the beginning of a new set of relationships with the college and with your fellow classmates that will extend demography on your side probably over the next 60 years of your lives or more. In fact, you will never really end your relationship with the University of Chicago. Many reunions await you and beckon you, many occasions to renew and enrich friendships that you made in Chicago, to help spread the word about the college, to help us interview first-rate prospective students like yourselves, go out there and send us more students, to do volunteer work to advance the cause of higher education, and to join the many intellectual and cultural events that the university sponsors for its alumni all over the world. As for the future in which that new beginning will take place, it's really yours to shape and to wield. Futures do not just happen, they are built, and you have a chance to build your future in the right way. Edward Levy, one of our former presidents, once warned that the greatest danger facing universities was what he called the insidious and reasonable thought that mediocrity also has its uses. I think this is also true for the university's individual members, and hopefully we've taught you well to avoid that danger, the danger of mediocrity, in every moment of your lives that lie before you. Graduation is always momentous, all the more so because you're leaving an institution with such powerful and efficacious folkways. The college has always been a transformative place, and it does this with each generation of students. One generation comes to the university and gains, or gives itself, to be more accurate, a magnificent education, an education that transforms and enriches your lives. And then that generation helps the next generation, and the process continues on and on up to the present day. A ceremony such as this reminds us not only of who we are and what we have become, but also what we stand for. For over 100 years, the college has been a place of vibrant courage and openness to innovation and to change, populated by students and faculty who are willing to act on their intellectual convictions. To think about the totality of the education we offer, and you gave yourselves, is to think about the most precious gift that anyone can give to anyone, namely a mind enlivened by creativity and curiosity, a person strengthened by self-confidence and confidence in the world, and a life enriched by the love of learning. Our college, not my college, but our college, is all about freedom to learn, not only in the sense of learning something, but also in the much more powerful sense of becoming something. Robert Hutchins, who was one of our most distinguished presidents, I think put this well when he argued that what makes the University of Chicago a great educational institution is the intense, strenuous, and constant intellectual activity of the place. We like to think, Hutchins said, that the air is electric, and from it the student derives an intellectual stimulation that lasts for the rest of her life. We live in a university community that values and recognizes individual achievement and tries to create the circumstances that make such achievement possible for all of us. As one of my predecessors in the deanship, Alan Simpson, once put it, the essence of our education is to mix the wisdom of the world with the learning of the cloister, to develop the body as well as the mind, to pay a great deal of attention to character, and to neglect no art that could add to the enjoyment of living. For Simpson, this was a spacious idea which offered hospitality to the creative energy of all of us. Anyone seriously interested in a liberal education must begin by rediscovering it. A college such as ours is not something to be taken for granted. It is not engraved in nature. It is not, and we cannot simply assume that it always will be the kind of place we would want it to be, unless we take good care of it. Our distinguished traditions and practices and the extraordinarily talented students and faculty who are members of our community make this college a very special national, indeed an international institution, and it deserves our support. We have to make certain that our community is as strong and as effective for those who come after us as it has been for our generation and for the past generations of students and faculty who came before. In fact, we can make the future of the university even better than its past by making the college still stronger in the future. And we can sustain our special intellectual values while building a vibrant community with our students and maintaining wide and sturdy bridges to our alumni. I want to thank you. I want to thank all of you personally, you and all of your classmates, for your support of the college, for being here and being the kind of people you have been and will be in the future. I want to congratulate you all on your many achievements over these past 4 years. And let me close by saying, on behalf of every faculty member, we are very, very proud of you. Thank you very much.
The memories that we will recount were compiled from the submissions of members of the graduating class. The memories expressed are not of the reader's own. An effort has been made to include experiences common to the class of 2016. My first time wondering if they made a mistake in accepting me. My first time wondering if they had made a mistake in accepting me was when I got a 6%, yes, 6 out of 100 points on the STAT 200 final. My first time wondering if they had made a mistake in accepting me was when I got my acceptance letter. My first time wondering if they had made a mistake in accepting me was after every single OChem exam. I first realized I was on my own and my parents were not here was when I got sick and I had to find my way to student health. I got very lost. I first realized I was on my own and my parents were not here was when the toilet paper rolls stopped magically refilling themselves. I first realized I was on my own and my parents were not here was when I ran after them as they drove away to give them one last hug. My most vivid memory of the Chicago winters was building big snowmen and forts with my friends on the quad. My most vivid memory of the Chicago winters was sledding down the Midway on Bartlett trays. My most vivid memory of the Chicago winters was sitting in Crayar watching the snow pile up on the sciences quad. Every afternoon, some faculty members bring their dogs out to play, and there's nothing more adorable than watching them run around joyfully in the snow. My most vivid memory of the Chicago winters was when my eyelids stuck together because my tears froze.
My first time on campus. My first time on campus, I found a flyer that said, in quotation, "Birth your brainchild," with a picture of a fetus on it. It was the strangest advertisement I have seen to this day and is the best description of UChicago that exists. My first time My first time on campus, I thought I was at Hogwarts. My first time on campus, it was a beautiful day and I was nervous, even though I was visiting to decide if I wanted to go home. A little over 4 years now, I'm nervous to leave. My first all-nighter. My first all-nighter was spent in the reg with a friend as we each ate a full medium 2-topping Domino's pizza. I didn't finish my work. My first all-nighter was the night before my BA was due. My first all-nighter was my first midterm. I slept in Harper, didn't study, freaked out, and took the midterm late. My favorite memory skipping class. My favorite memory skipping class was to drive to Lincoln Park for brews and cheesies. My favorite memory skipping class was funny enough to catch up on readings for that class. There. My favorite memory skipping class. Are you kidding me? Skipping class is a no-no. Do you know how many thousands of dollars each class costs?
Things and places I will always remember about UChicago. I will always remember Medici's Mexicana shake and the garbage pizza. I will always remember Fabiana's. She always made me smile and is solely responsible for my senior 20. I will always remember the quad during a blizzard. It's extremely serene and untouched. I will always remember the deepest conversations about anything and everything. I will always remember cooking eggs at the house, dancing in the salsa show, and ordering Chinatown delivery to the reg at 2 a.m. I will always remember staying up all night in Harper and getting angry at the birds chirping as I leave. I first realized I was a senior when someone asked me, "Do you know what you'll be doing next year?" I first realized I was a senior when my thesis was finally turned in. I first realized I was a senior. I still haven't. I will remember the city of Chicago as a place with cold winters but warm people. I will remember the city of Chicago as a place where I experienced the polar vortex. I will remember the city of Chicago for its food. There are always new places to discover.
My favorite athletic memory. My favorite athletic memory. I couldn't even run a mile. This is UChicago. Do we even have athletics? My favorite athletic memory is the first time I wasn't picked last for a team. My favorite athletic memory is when I went to my first football game, homecoming of senior year. To this day, I have no idea who won any of the homecoming games, and I would like to offer my sincerest apologies to the football team. My favorite intramural experience. My favorite intramural experience was playing soccer in April in the snow. My favorite intramural experience was scoring the winning point during Ultimate, despite someone side tackling me in the end zone. My favorite intramural experience was when the Shorey House intramural team did broomball. My favorite intramural experience was playing soccer on the Midway. My favorite night out in Hyde Park. My favorite night out in Hyde Park was when I woke up the next morning with one of the temporary tattoos from Harold's on my lower back. Not as bad as my friend who had one across his forehead and went to work with it. My favorite night out in Hyde Park was going bowling at 710 Lanes with my best girlfriends. My favorite night out in Hyde Park was the night I discovered the grilled cheese at Jimmy's. My life has never been the same. My favorite night out in Hyde Park was taco night at ZNH with my best friend. Then we drank wine and watched the sunset at the Point.
I realized I was uncommon. I realized I was uncommon when I went home after first year and realized it wasn't welcome to discuss the merits of Marxist theory in everyday conversation. I realized I was uncommon when I was the one student in my humanities class who wasn't interested in pursuing a PhD. I realized I was uncommon when a UChicago math professor told me first year that I was socially awkward enough to be a math major here. My best roommate memory. My best roommate memory was when we threw our first apartment party for close friends, but over 150 people ended up showing up. My best roommate memory was using the Communist Manifesto to support a projector that we connected to play video games at 1 a.m. My best roommate memory was filming an incredible rendition of Uptown Funk. My favorite memory of spending the summer in Hyde Park. My favorite memory of spending the summer in Hyde Park was spending the evening at the Point eating s'mores. My favorite memory of spending the summer in Hyde Park was a river cruise on the night of the 4th of July. My favorite memory of spending the summer in Hyde Park was attempting to use 250 tickets at the Taste of Chicago and getting through only 50 of them before needing to lie down. I'm excited to be a UChicago alum. I'm excited to be a UChicago alum because I can't wait to come back to campus years down the road to see how my RSOs have changed and to tour all the new buildings. I'm excited to be a UChicago alum so I can switch from tuition payments to loan payments. I'm excited to be a UChicago alum because I won't have to use single-ply toilet paper. And finally, I'm excited to be a UChicago alum so that I can become a member of one of the brightest, tight-knit networks of students in the world and recruit eager high school students to the best university ever. Thank you.
My girl's got a city to run, got the key to the kingdom where the money's from. Never seen the color yellow, never seen the sun.
And he thinks I'm the negative one.
Flags flapping in Manhattan, New Dope, New York. Gargoyles gargling oil, peak of the empire, top of the rock. Flags flapping in Manhattan, New Dope, New York. Gargoyles gargling oil, peak of the empire, top of the rock. My girl's got a little stick, keep you cool up in the kitchen while you feed the kid. Keep you waiting in the window while the tank ticks. My girl got a limousine, got a full-time job just to keep it clean. Got a speaker in the trunk, you know where it's done. You think I'm the negative one? Flags flapping in Manhattan, New Dope, New York. Gargoyles gargling on, peak of the empire, top of the rock. Flags flapping in Manhattan, New Dope, New York. Gargoyles gargling on, peak of the empire, top of the rock. My girl got a city to run.
I ain't got time for you, baby. Either you're mine or you're not. Make up your mind, sweet baby. Right here, right now is all we got. A little party never killed nobody. So we gon' dance until we drop. A little party never killed nobody. Right here, right now is all we got. It don't mean a thing if I give you my heart, if you tear it apart. No, it don't mean a thing if I ain't in your eyes, but it ain't gonna fly. No,
Funky, funky, everything funky. Big gal, turn around, show me a donkey. Oh my lord, that's a whole lot of junkie. I can tell you from a whole nother country. I do it for the fine, do it for the grand, do it for the couple $100 in my hand. No discrimination if you're heavy in the middle or you only got a little. Go ahead and make a jiggle, go. Ain't no party like the East Coast party with a West Coast chick that got a down south body and she bounce that body, bounce that body, bounce that body. Miami to the Bay to the Port of France. Back to Jersey, baby, go and do the water dance. Do the water dance, girl, do the water dance. Do the water dance, girl, do the water dance. From Miami to the Bay to the Port of France. Back to Jersey, baby, go and do the water dance. Do the water dance, girl, do the water dance. Do the water dance, girl, do the water dance. Do the water dance, girl, do the water dance. Do the water dance, girl, do the water dance.
Hi, class of 2016. My name is Rebecca Abrams, and I am the senior committee co-chair for this year's baccalaureate ceremony. As I stand here today in Rockefeller Chapel, I can't help but think back to 4 years ago when we all sat here for the Aims of Education address as excited, nervous, and extremely tired from O-Week first years. I remember sitting here and realizing that my parents had officially left. I was on my own, ready to start a new chapter in my life. Well, today, we sit here as excited, slightly less nervous, and extremely tired from senior week fourth years, ready to take on the milestones of graduation and the real world. Even though many of us are meeting back up with our parents at the MSI reception tonight, who's excited, we are more officially on our own than ever before. This is definitely a scary thought, and I think most of us have been pretty nervous about this at one point or another. I've had about one existential crisis a week since I turned in my BA. But I have faith that we will all succeed. I know we will all succeed because the University of Chicago has given us tools we can use to continue learning for the rest of our lives. It has taught us the value of rigorous inquiry, to never stop developing our worldview, to seek out all sides, stances, and possibilities, and to continue to integrate them into our own mindsets. And so, 4 years after being told the aims of education, today, we are excited to have with us, telling us the remains of education, Mr. Scott Wakely. Scott Wakely is an associate professor in the Department of Physics, the Enrico Fermi Institute, and the college. He is also a member of the Kavli Institute for Cosmological Physics. An alum of the college, Professor Wakely received his undergraduate degree in physics at the University of Chicago. After completing his PhD work in particle astrophysics at the University of Minnesota, he returned to UChicago as a postdoctoral scholar in 1999 and later joined the faculty, where he generally teaches introductory physics and physical sciences courses, most recently, waves, optics, and heat, extraterrestrial life, and introduction to electronics. Wakely's research covers several topics related to space-based and ground-based detection and measurement of very high-energy radiation produced near exotic astrophysical environments, such as supernova remnants and supermassive black holes. As an alum of the college, Professor Wakely was once sitting in the very place we are today, so we are honored to hear his words and perspective as he presents us with the Class of 2016 Remains of Education address. Please join me in welcoming to the pulpit, Scott Wakely.
This week marks a key milestone in the lives of each and every one of you, for you have endured 4 years of grueling scholarship, intense intellectual debate, and rigorous academic inquiry. As of tomorrow, you will be counted among the esteemed alumni of a university that is widely regarded as one of the finest institutions of higher learning in the entire city of Chicago. Now, I have been chosen on the basis of clearly dubious criteria to deliver this address to you today. And as we just heard, it serves as a bookend to the Aims of Education address you received 4 years ago from an actually distinguished faculty member. So the instructions that I received said that this speech today should be this is a quote, a comedic and ironic take on the values of the education received and on its application towards the future. So when I asked them what that meant, they said, you know, be edgy. But don't offend anyone. Also, be wise, but not so preachy. Okay? And so then I asked them if I would receive any, little walking around money for my time invested, important ceremony. I was told that, Professor Wakely, your payment is the honor of being selected. But you can bring a tip jar. So I have a tip jar. So as you heard in my introduction, I too was an undergraduate here at the university. This was the early 1990s. And it's been very interesting for me to watch how the university has changed over the years and how it stayed the same. And I've seen many changes for the better. We've managed, for instance, to achieve a very impressive trick, and that is to both increase the size and the quality of the student body. So this has actually happened very regularly in recent years, so that you guys out there right now may very well be the strongest class to ever graduate from the university. So that's not ironic. That was, kudos to you guys. I probably would get waitlisted today myself. At the same time, a lot of effort has gone into improving the quality of student life on campus. You see, when I graduated in '93, we had just earned the distinction of being named the least fun college in the entire United States, okay? Just edging out West Point. And now I understand things have changed considerably since then, and that on similar lists today, we regularly rank as more fun than West Point. So I do think being a student here has helped me in my teaching and in my interactions with students, because Chicago has a very unique, it is a very unique place. It has a very unique student culture. And frankly, I think it's difficult to understand that culture if you haven't come up through that culture. And you guys know what I mean. It's that quintessential U of C, masochism? Is that the right word? No, it's that intensity, it's masochism. And that's one thing that hasn't changed at the university, and I'm very pleased by that. Okay, so now to the wisdom. I pondered for quite some time about how much wisdom I would deliver today and in what form. At first I thought that one really big, profound bit of wisdom would be a good way to go, but most of the good bits of wisdom have already been taken in other speeches, turns out. So then I thought I could sort of package together 3 lesser truths, kind of in a general cloud of sagacity, but in the end I settled on 2 simple bits of advice, okay? These are lessons that I have learned personally over the years. I can't promise they'll be helpful to you, but let's give it a shot. All right, item number 1, never let anyone see your browser history. Enough said about that. Number 2, love what you do in your day-to-day life. Serious now. So let me explain. So everybody has heard that when you pick a career, you need to follow your passion, yeah? And everybody's also heard that when you set your goals, you need to aim high. And I don't disagree with that, right? Big solutions don't appear without somebody passionately pursuing a big problem. But what I will argue is that there does come a point when idealism clashes with realism. And so as I was thinking about how to explain this, I was reminded of a famous story by Leon Lederman. All right, if you don't know who Leon Lederman is, I'll tell you. He's one of, if not the most accomplished experimental particle physicist of the last 50 years. He is a former director of Fermilab, and he's a former member of our very own physics department. Extremely eminent scientist. And I hope it's not too immodest of me to point out that between Leon and myself, we have 1 Nobel Prize, 1 Wolf Prize in Physics, 1 National Medal of Science, and a frequent diner's card from Harold's. So, yeah. We are a formidable pair, it's true. Anyway, Leon Lederman tells the story of an experiment that they were building at Brookhaven National Lab. This is the early 1960s. Brookhaven, which is in New York, turned on a powerful new particle accelerator. It was the best in the world, all right? Everybody was excited, a very optimistic time. They knew that really big things were going to happen. And everyone was raring to go. Now, in experiments like the one Leon was building, they often use long metal tubes to focus and contain the particles that are made in the accelerator. And this is called a collimator. And it turns out that a really good collimator can be made from the 12-inch cannon of a US naval destroyer. And it turns out that 12-inch cannons from US naval destroyers can be obtained through Navy surplus. So they got one. Now, the problem was the thing was completely filthy. It's just disgusting. It needed to be, the whole thing, 50 feet of it now, needed to be cleaned out, polished, filed, sanded, the whole thing. And it just so happened that Lederman had a brand new graduate student who was very eager, very earnest, and very keen to make his mark in the world of physics. All right, he was aiming high. And by a stroke of luck, he had the right physical build that he could climb into the barrel of the cannon. So Lederman sends him in with a file, some sandpaper, a box of steel wool, and tells him to go to work. All right, and so for days, this poor kid is in there grinding and filing and sanding and polishing, and the days turn into weeks, and it's really miserable. It's hot, it's claustrophobic, he's sweating, and he's really starting to dread coming to work, right? This is not what he thought being a physicist would be. But he keeps at it, and the weeks finally turn into months, and he finally snaps, and he climbs out of the barrel of the cannon, and he looks at Lederman, and he says, "That's it, I quit, I can't take this anymore." And Lederman looked at him, and he said, you know what he said? This is what he said. He said, "You can't quit. Where will I find another student of your caliber?" Okay, so at this point, I can take this story in two directions, right? I can make this a story about perseverance, yeah? About sucking up the pain and pushing through the hard times and that sort of stuff. That would be edgy. Or I can make this a story about finding a balance between happiness and grander ambitions. And that's the direction I'm going to go, okay? So this is what I tell my students, and I'm going to tell you now. So the big victories, all right, capital B, capital V, they don't come around every month. All right, they don't even come around every year. And you need something to sustain you in the time in between the big victories. And the best thing to sustain you is actually loving those activities that you do day after day after day after day, yeah? So I'm a physicist. My passion and my goal is to discover the mysteries of the universe. Ooh. But what I do all day long is I solder bits of wire together, I type code on a computer, I write proposals, I teach, okay? So if those kinds of activities, your day-to-day stuff, if that makes you miserable, then you're going to burn out well before you make your big dreams. Or, possibly worse, and I've seen this happen, you may achieve your goals, but then you may look back and say, wow, it wasn't worth it. A lifetime of misery wasn't worth these goals, okay? So I could probably have summarized all that just by paraphrasing Douglas Adams, where he's talking about a job, where he says, it doesn't matter if the hours are good, if all the actual minutes are lousy. That's Douglas Adams, that wasn't me. All right, second bit of advice. So that is my second bit of advice, is pick passions, pick goals that are compatible with you living a happy life. And this may be a hard sell at Chicago, where we have an unusual fondness for misery, but do give it some thought. So with that, I thank you for listening. I wish you all good luck. I know you're going to go out and do great things, be successful as individuals in a wide variety of endeavors. But know that one thing is that there's the one thing that will bind you all to each other, and it's something that binds you to me as well, and that is you are all going to spend the rest of your lives explaining to certain people the difference between you of C and you I see. different places. Thank you.
Good afternoon, class of 2016. My name's Christian Adamus, and I'm a proud member of the class of 2015. Before I begin, I would like to ask all the members of the class of 2016 sitting in the inner aisles to look underneath their seats. There you'll find a bag of alumni pins. If you could please take one pin, pass the bag down the row. hold on to these pins, you'll need them in a couple of minutes. So when I was asked to speak to you all, I was extremely humbled to be representing the alumni community. Almost immediately after accepting, I realized the weight of my challenge to usher you, the class of 2016, into the real world and explain what it means to be a University of Chicago alumnus. I thought to myself, how can I do that and when in many ways I still feel like a college student? So I did what I do best, and I procrastinated. As I began thinking about how to explain what it means to be an alum of the University of Chicago, I hit a wall. I thought to myself, why would they invite me back when they could have just as easily have brought back an alum with many years of postgraduate experience? So that's when I realized my job today is not to tell you how life changes post-college. It's to tell you what stays the same. Thinking back to exactly 1 year ago when I was in those pews, I remember watching my classmates' amazing performances, hearing the shared memories of my class being read, and the chapel being filled with anticipation. I was thrilled and somewhat relieved to be graduating. Though through all the excitement, I remember feeling an acute sense of fear that day. When I think back to my time in college, I have many great memories, from eating way too many $1 milkshakes to having ridiculously intense philosophical debates at 4 a.m. in the house lounge to my resident master's weekly tea. Though I wouldn't be mad if I forgot about some of those all-nighters at Harper Library, the Our Lady Cathy Learning Center. Last year, I wasn't worried if I would succeed in the real world. My advisors and my professors took care of that. I was worried that I wouldn't be able to find a place that would let me thrive. I'd become accustomed to this place where arguing with your professors is encouraged and where a giant game of humans versus zombies is just another day. The University of Chicago had become my home and my classmates my family. While life after college is certainly a transition, spoiler alert, I'm happy to say that even though I physically left the university, I've never felt more connected to the University of Chicago community. That sense of inquiry bred by the core will seep into every activity that you do, which may or may not hypothetically have your boss tell you that you ask too many questions, to which you would maybe hypothetically respond that you just really want to do rigorous research. And those friends that move across the world will continue to support you and share in your successes. And honestly, if you count all the BuzzFeed quizzes and memes that I've shared throughout my past year, I talked to some of my friends more than I did in college. These shared memories and passions for lifelong learning have set you apart. Embrace your, dare I say it, quirkiness, because you're all uniquely UChicago. Now, I'm standing here representing the alumni community, so I feel like I've got to drop the following word at least once during my speech: networking. Great, that's out of the way. On a more serious note, as new alumni of the University of Chicago, you're joining a huge network of individuals that will forever be there to support you and to encourage your endeavors. This network, this family, is more than just a bunch of potential LinkedIn connections. The alumni family is composed of over 125,000 individuals, just like your friend sitting next to you. Just like a family, they'll be there when things get tough. They're sharing your successes, help pick you up after your failures, and if that one piece of campus lore from my time as a tour guide holds true, they'll probably end up being your spouse. As part of this family, I encourage you to become engaged with it. I challenge you to find something that makes you tick. Find that memory of yours that's so uniquely UChicago and make it happen for someone else. Hire an intern, come back for SCAV, donate to your favorite RSO, connect via social media, and come back for alumni weekend and share your favorite memories and all those new successes at the beer garden. Engage in this community, and it'll be as if you never left. Plus, you never know which alum is going to be winning that Nobel Prize, so you want to make sure that you're invited back to that party, right? While tomorrow's convocation ceremony marks the completion of your time here in the college, please know that your friends and memories that you've made here will forever be a part of you as you conquer that next challenge in your life. I hesitate to say that this is the end of a chapter, since that implies just that, an end. If nothing else, know that the community that you've come to love will be with you forever. So class of 2016, thank you for having me, and it's such an honor to be welcoming you to the family. Now. Cool. So now please turn to the person sitting next to you and pin them with the alumni pin, and then they will do the same thing to you. As you move on to the next chapter in your lives, remember that you'll be forever a part of the UChicago family, and that this alumni pinning is just the first step in reinforcing that bond. So congratulations, class of 2016. I know that I speak for everyone involved in the University of Chicago community when I say that we can't wait to hear about all that you'll accomplish. So now, we ask that you please rise and join the seniors of the University of Chicago singing groups in singing our alma mater, and those words can be found on the last page of your program.
Today we gladly sing the praise of her, whose daughters and whose sons now loyal voices proudly raise to bless her with our benisons. Of all fair mothers, fair is she, most wise of all that wisest be, most true of all that true say we, is our dear alma mater.
Please be seated again for a moment. I'm Elizabeth Davenport, Dean of Rockefeller Chapel. Class of 2016, we celebrate you. We celebrate your knowledge, your wisdom, accumulated day by day these past 4 years. And we look with you to where it will take you, for we will never stop asking of you new focus, new heights, and never mediocrity. The stretching of your well-disciplined strengths, in the words of poet Rainer Maria Rilke. This is what Rilke says: just as the winged energy of delight carried you over many chasms early on, now raise the daringly imagined arch, holding up the astounding bridges. Miracle doesn't lie only in the amazing living through and defeat of danger. Miracles become miracles in the clear achievement that is earned. To work with things is not hubris. When building the association beyond words, denser and denser the pattern becomes. Being carried along is not enough. But for this weekend at least, may you be carried along by those who have supported and loved you thus far, by the pride that you may justly feel, by the anticipation of all that lies ahead, by the sense of where destiny is calling you. And then, as Rilke concludes, may your works, your being, become the continuing unfolding of the universe. At this springtime of your lives, may summer's promise beckon and every hope be brought to fruition. Go in wisdom, go in joy.